Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday, the 4th of October. So let's have a look at today's action before we get into the technicals. Let's just have a look at the fundamentals due out today, the risk events. Now, there really isn't much at all. Bank holiday in China for most of this beginning of the week, or right through till, well, all week actually. Just about by looks of things. So we've got OPEC meetings are due today. Now I saw a comment on here actually, OPEC considering options for releasing more oil to the market. So there we are. I'm not surprised if oil prices are shoving up as they are. Some of the producers are going to want to take advantage of a bit more oil going out there to make a bit more income at the moment. So that's what they'll be trying to do, and there'll be pressure to release more oil anyway if there's shortages showing. So there we go, that's today. So oil market could be a bit flaky, to put it mildly, today, and that's really it. So, I know it's Spanish unemployment change. I don't even know why this is in orange. It should be yellow. It's very low impact on the euro. Right, there we go, that's today's funny mentals. Let's get on and look at the day's technicals then. And well, looking at the euro here, I'm going to come out on the euro in terms of time, and you need to come right back to this monthly. You can see it's on its monthly 50 here. There was also if I can click on here and it'll adjust. On the weekly front here, it's onto its 200, so no surprises there then, as it's the same moving averages. But getting the beginnings of a little bounce here, double bottom there last week, and it's bouncing up. New monthly pivot sitting above at 1685, which would always become a draw as it starts pushing up, and you've got the weekly pivot above as well. So start of something, maybe more of a bounce, but doesn't mean to say this bounce is going to go on forever, but it has got higher lows coming in and higher highs through this time frame. So at the moment, bouncing towards the upside. If this continues today, would be looking to see if that weekly pivot was to get hit at least. Right, that's the euro. The pound. So the pound, well, it started to bounce last week as well. Not really off of anything too major. I did think, did I see something here as well? Just going to the monthlies there. Oh yeah, monthly 21. I knew there was something. So bouncing off its monthly 21. So again, it's got some support below. It is already into its weekly pivot as of, well, last week it got up to where it was going to come, and there it is. It's already hit the weekly pivot. Question really is for the monthly pivot, which again is not far ahead, and we've got these prior lows. Now the combination there may provide some resistance for the pound and see it roll back, but if these markets are continuing, if we're seeing a bit more dollar sell-off, well, I would expect that to push through those levels. Okay, that's the pound. Yen. The yen at the moment then, again, same reversal there, selling off. In this case, running into key moving averages, and then you're sort of coming back. We do have the weekly pivot above, so if it gets a bit of a rally on today, that might be a nice little point to be selling into for a while at least. It could maybe be worth trying. We'll just watch that. If it gives some sort of reversal around there with a sort of target below, back towards its monthly pivot. So we start, so 110 area. So looking for it to run into the sort of 111.22 area, and a reversal maybe back down towards that 110.82. Okay, yen, Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar. It's again same old moves here. What we're seeing right the way through. The dollar softening, US dollar softening a little towards the end of the week, and pushing through at the moment. So we've got this coming back. The Aussie dollar, it's pulled back near enough. It hasn't quite touched the weekly pivot there. Slightly short of the weekly pivot. It's a bit choppy at the moment, neither way, but it has got, in the bigger picture here, it's got the higher lows, higher highs pushing through here. So again, it's got the signs of demand of maybe more upside. When you look at this, we've got the monthly pivot sitting above there at 72.92. It's just which way it's going to go. It's between a rock and a hard place. The weekly pivot, daily pivots are below at the moment, and any sell-off to those, it's which way if it runs up to the monthly pivot, gives us a bit of a reversal. Maybe there's options for it to come back towards the weekly and daily. My preference would see it hit the weekly and daily, although that gives us a lower high, so it's a bit of uncertainty there. Most of the decent moves we're seeing, and if there's uncertainty in the morning, just leave it till the afternoon, because they seem to be clearing themselves out a little bit more in the afternoon and giving potential from that point. But if there's, it is quite messy at the moment. Canadian dollar, we've got news out for the Canadian dollar. We've got oil stuff coming out, so not today with the news, but to later the week. I would be careful with this. It's consolidated in the daily ranges here. It's not really going out of range too much. It's near its lower end of this range. If we start seeing a buy, well, some traders may push it through. It did come out of its wedgie pattern that I've drawn on here, the wedge trend lines here, but it's come out, tested the underside of that, but bounced back again. Weekly pivot sits up above there in mid flow. I just don't like it intraday wise. Normally it might develop into something as we go through the day, but particularly if the oil, if something happens with oil prices, etc. If I say oil prices, but if more oil's agreed, more oil is going to be pumped, I'd be watching this to see if it pushes back up there, but that'll be again this afternoon if that's going to kick off. Right, that's pretty much it on the majors there. Cross pair, just a quick look at the euro yen. This has been riding pretty well, or had been. Sold off quite strongly last 3 days there of last week, and pushing up at the moment. Again, well, the way this has sort of been moving, I'll be looking at any price action into that weekly pivot. It may be just drawn up until that weekly pivot this morning, so you may get a draw towards that sort of area, but just coming out here, weekly pivot, monthly pivot sitting just below the weekly pivot, so there's plenty of a draw there. These price action often heads back towards its pivots early part of the month, week, so there's plenty of draw there to the upside at the moment, but very messy and not really one that I'd want to jump straight aboard in. Right, that's the currencies there. Gold, so gold looking still lower highs, lower lows on the pound. That's the first thing that really comes to mind here in terms of what we've got. It's a bit short of its monthly pivot. It's a bit of a shame. It would have been quite nice if it would run in there and started rolling over. Has got the weekly pivot below, which could be a draw, so it's got something to draw it to the downside anyway. But as I said, if it does pop up, I would be looking at that monthly pivot that's sitting above there at 1770. So if it starts rolling back off of that, it looks like the 21's holding it at the moment, but if it rolls off of that, it would be more of a short candidate. Right, and oil. Now oil, as I said, could be risky trading this today. I tend to leave it to the afternoons personally. I'm trading it. I've got back into trading it again now. It's given opportunities there. It looks quite choppy, having said that, but on the hourly last week, here we go. It's between a rock and a hard place. It was bullish up here. It was bearish if it broke down here. It was quite simple in that respect for me. I took the bullish side. There we go. Target hit. I just don't get over greedy on this, looking for the previous targets when it's doing this. But lower high at the moment. Let's just see how this pans out later in the day. Watch for. As I say, if they're going to produce a little bit more, we might just see a break of the weekly here and some more downside, a bit more settling of oil prices. There we go. That's the commodities. Let's switch across charts now into my other charts here. Bitcoin's already sitting here, so Bitcoin took the rally last week, pushed on through its trend line, looking much more positive. It's effectively trying to start start moving a little bit more. Sunday saw it, yesterday saw it pushing through a little bit, but sold off again this morning. Ethereum's much further away from its prior highs there, and Ripple again still short of them. So these others, they're all moving pretty much together. Okay, Bitcoin just pitched through there. Is it going to continue rallying? Goodness knows. It's in no man's land for me at this stage. It may, if it starts breaking, giving us a higher low, coming another higher low. It's done it down here, gave us a little higher low. Maybe it could be a bit more of a positive sign if it just dips down a little bit and then starts pushing up. But I'm sitting on the fence on this one. So there we go on the cryptos at the moment. They're all pretty similar in terms of price action. Indices, let's have a look at, well, bank holidays, so I don't think this is 8th of October. Ooh, where are we going? 30th September, so no action there. But is this Nikkei down again? 4th October, got the right date, yeah. So we've got action kicking in on the Nikkei there, and more selling coming through here. So looking soft on the equities there, and it's following through. We saw it on Friday in the end, rolled over. Look at some of these markets looked a lot more positive at one stage towards the end of last week, but have rolled back again. The DAX, good old DAX 40 as it is now, well, for a few weeks. Lower highs again Friday, selling off there and looking soft. And the CAC, let's go for the continuous. Okay, so again, well, looking soft there at the moment as well. So equity markets looking weak. The S&Ps on Friday did manage a bit of a bounce, but again, it's looking, to me, it still looks weak. We've broken those the prior lows there, even if it was only temporary there, and it's closed above it. But to me, these markets look all on the weaker side at this stage. As much as they're trying to do something, they're all showing weak signs, lower highs, lower lows coming through on the shorter time frames as well. So I'm biased towards the bearish side at the moment, and the fundamentals are the at least up until last week, the big money was following suit. So there we go. That's it for me. I wish you a great day, and I will speak to you in the morning. Bye for now.